Hey, got another mouse. This one is extremely customizable. This is the Zalman ZM-GM4. Now you've got some mice out there and they're going in the direction of like very comfortable unibody. You know, this one size is just for you, and we'll make a big one and a small one for all the different people out there and do rubberized coating. So they've not gone in that direction. They've gone more in the direction of like Mad Cats with their rat mice out there on the market. And they've given us something that has metal on the inside. There's a little metal right there, and then plastic construction all the way around it, and then a ton of options as far as customization goes. And they've kind of put it all here. It looks like a Decepticon pretty much. So it's probably going to transform in the middle of the night and start making toast in your kitchen. But that's just, if you like toast, something that you'll get used to and enjoy. So let's look at all the buttons. We have 8 different buttons on this, and then I'll talk about the adjustments and that sort of thing, because that's what you want to stick around to watch, is just all the different adjustments. That's what this thing is all about. But first, the buttons. And of course, we have the left and right click, scroll wheel. It's got a pretty decent feel to it, and that depresses as well, makes another button. We've got our action button right here, or actually our auto button, I should say. DPI switch is right here, and it's only one button, and there's 4 different options. Now, this uses the Avago ADNS 9800 sensor. Like I said, it's similar to a lot of the other gaming mice that are coming out right now. If they're using a laser sensor, it's probably going to be that one. It's got all the latest refinements and that sort of thing, so it's it's just a hell of an accurate sensor. The CPI or the DPI is up to 8200, and the minimum is 800. 8200 is a bit of an overkill in my opinion, but I don't think they intend for anyone to actually use that. Does anybody actually use 8200? I don't know anybody that uses above like 5,000 or 6,000. I think Pistol uses like 5,500 or something. I use like 2,400 at most. All right, there's another button on the side here. We have 2 buttons here, and then we also have a function button here. It's like a toggle button. Now you can set that up for all kinds of different things. In the software, you can program all these buttons to do just about anything. Let's get down to business and talk about what this mouse is all about. Customization. So right here in the back, there's a little tool that you can unscrew. It's like I guess it's a hex screw. And there it is, little hex driver. And then there's several different spots on here that you can adjust. First off, right here on the top, this area here, lots of weights in there. There are 6 3.5 gram weights. You unscrew that, it lifts up, and then you can, take out weights if you like. Right here on the back, you can adjust this to make the mouse, a little bit longer right here. Just turn this and then adjust the back. And then on each side, we have width controls for these little wings here. There's even spots where you can put your thumbs here to rest. So you can adjust it on each side and make the mouse wider. This, I guess, makes it so that this mouse works for just about any size hand or any style of play. I guess my gripes with this style are there are a lot of places where you're going to have to make sure this is clean. A lot of different spots, a lot of different cracks. And also, for me, using it at a table, I didn't notice much weirdness as far as like, I thought I was going to be feeling all the bumps and that sort of thing. I did notice a little rough edge right there on my hand, so it's not as comfortable, obviously, as like a unibody rubberized mouse. Those are just, you can't get any more comfortable than that if your hand fits it. But this one is something that can fit just about anyone, because you can essentially build your own mouse with the different adjustments. You see, this also, it comes back, but it also goes, I guess, up a slight bit, but just more like that. So it gives you like that. That's how it goes. Just like that. You guys can see in there, maybe not, I don't know. Other gripes with it, these thumb buttons right here. When you're holding the mouse normally, you have to kind of bring your thumb pretty far back, unless you're, they're pretty far back. You can't just, I guess you could just kind of slap them, but I found myself having to pull my thumb up and move my hand back a little bit to hit these correctly. I feel like those are just too far back. Function button is actually like a slider, and it's got a groove on it. I noticed that while I was gaming more than anything, because it sits right underneath where my thumb goes. Even when I did some adjustments, my thumb was always on top of that groove. So I guess if you're mapping it to be like a sniper button or something like that, I think by default it's mapped in Windows to open up your browser or whatever, but my thumb was always aware of that being there. Bottom, polytetrafluoroethylene feet all the way around. So that's going to slide nicely. Cable is braided, and it's got like a blue and black pattern on it, so that it's going to be hard to mistake. It's 1.8 meters long, decently long. There's a Zalman hook and loop thing here, so you either tie down the excess, or if you're taking it with you, use that to wrap the cable. And we have a very distinct USB plug here, so it's not going to blend into all the other generic ones in the back of your computer and get lost. And then we have a gold-plated USB. I guess the other interesting specs as far as the sensor goes, 30 grams is the max acceleration, 150 inches per second. Pulling rate is up to 1,000, and I think I've covered most everything. Oh yeah, the dimensions on this, 118 by 85 by 35, but again, it's adjustable, so it can be, you know, different. And the weight is either 135 without any of the weights in it, or it goes up to 156 if you put all the weights into it, and that's in grams. Oh yeah, last but not least, I almost forgot, switches. Omrons, of course. Omrons, Avago sensor, gaming mouse, adjustability, good for everybody. That's pretty much the bottom line here. So if you're someone like me, I go out and I try out a million different mice, and I find one mouse that needs no adjustments, and I use it just for me. That may not be as easy for some of you guys, or maybe if you've always had a hard time finding a mouse, then this is going to be something for you. Also, if you like laser sensor, if you're familiar with the Avago, you know it's very precise. There you go. And last but not least, if you want the adjustable weights and all the buttons and that sort of thing, decent way to go. There's going to be a lot that you can do with it in the software. And also, if you lose this, it's nice that it's attached right here, but you know, you can go grab a hex driver at the store and you'll be just fine. So that's the Zalman ZM-GM4 right there. I didn't notice much weirdness. Why is that doing that in the background? My monitor stopped. Whatever. The cable is... How long is this cable?